Hello and welcome to our Town Holdrege and the Nebraska Prairie Museum. I'm Lance Schwartz, and for the next half hour, we'll show you around the hub of Phelps County. Our Town Holdrege is located in south central Nebraska, just south of Interstate 80 along Highway 183. 5,495 people call Holdrege home. The city of Holdrege was founded back in 1883. Just prior to the arrival of the first train on a newly built railroad track pushing its way west. The city was named in honor of a railroad superintendent named George Holdrege, and I am quite certain that Mr. Holdrege would have been very impressed with this museum that now displays the history of the town that bears his name.
People can't believe how far back it goes.
Dan Christensen is the executive director at the Nebraska Prairie Museum, and he says visitors are always pleasantly surprised when they first walk through the doors.
They see it from the highway. It looks like a grain storage steel building. And when they come in, they go and go and go, and they can't believe how big it is.
Here inside the spacious Nebraska Prairie Museum, you'll find 65,000 square feet of memorabilia that tell the story of Holdrege and Phelps County.
This is my favorite part of the museum. This is a representation of the downtown streets in Holdrege and the stores, which actually have things in them that were in those stores downtown.
And the attention to detail in these stores is spot on.
This is the land office that represents one of the lawyers' offices downtown. This is our railroad station. This is the George Ward Holdrege Railroad Station. George Holdrege was the founder of Holdrege. We named it after him.
And another famous Holdrege icon can be found on Main Street.
This is the doctor's office where Dr. Frank Brewster practiced. Dr. Brewster was the first flying doctor in America, and he would fly to patients throughout the central United States.
On now to the patriotic portion of the museum.
This is our military display. We like to honor our veterans. Every Veterans Day we have a big veterans breakfast, and we introduce all the veterans in the Phelps County area that come to that breakfast.
The newest exhibit in the museum is a World War II German POW Interpretive Center.
Little known to most people that there were German prisoners of war who came all the way out here on the train to the middle of America to be in a prison camp.
Thomas Negley was an interpreter at the POW camp, and he was also a talented artist who depicted camp life in this colorful gallery of paintings that he donated to the museum. Water has traditionally played a very large role in the history of Phelps County. This is the story about what happens when plenty of water meets some of the best farmland in the state of Nebraska. Phelps County farmers are grateful for this man.
Had an early vision of life could be a lot better in this region of the state.
Charles McConaughey had a feeling that
a more stable supply of water was what was needed to have these soils be as productive as possible.
Back in the early 1900s, McConaughey had a vision to bring supplemental irrigation water into Phelps, Gosper, and Kearney counties. His project evolved into the creation of the largest man-made water reservoir in Nebraska, Lake McConaughey.
He understood the value of supplemental irrigation, and so that was his idea, was to bring water into the area.
Water was first delivered from Lake McConaughey to Phelps County farms in the early 1940s.
As we look at this groundwater increase here in central Nebraska, it's a direct result of bringing Lake McConaughey water down into this area and delivering it to these farms.
Dave Ford says Phelps County is a great place to farm.
We've got a great water supply. The Ogallala Aquifer lies beneath our soils, and we have obviously the project is 75 years old, and bringing water into this area, not only providing water to the farmers, but also recharging that aquifer, and it's been a great benefit for this area during that period of time.
When Central first delivered water to these three counties, the farmers brought the water to their crops in these lath box pipelines.
Marcia Tromke says it's hard for farmers to put a value on the water that flows into the Tri-County area.
Before the water came, they were growing 12 bushel corn, and after the water came, the first year that the water was delivered here, they jumped to 120 bushel corn.
And today, 3 generations later, 270 bushel corn is not out of the norm.
We have it so good here. We are so blessed. This is the agricultural mecca of the world.
And when you live in the agricultural mecca of the world, it's wise to sink a fair amount of those profits back into the community. And that is where the Future Fund comes in.
We're meeting today just to discuss our last event that we had back in November. Had another phenomenal event with our progressive dinner.
Erin Sandy was a charter member of the Future Fund.
It's been really exciting. We finally figured out what works.
A group that started with 12 members in 2006 has grown to more than 130 members over the past 8 years.
You can come and go as you please. You can be as involved as you'd like.
The Future Fund is interested in enhancing the quality of life in Phelps County through collective action.
It continues to be the biggest event of the year.
Each of the members pays dues of just $10 a month. Those funds get matched by mentors.
Then we are able to use the interest from their money along with our dues, and that is our grantable amount each year.
Brian Borden and Holdrege Public Schools have benefited greatly from Future Fund grants.
It's just a great organization because they're willing to help any way they can with the funds, and it doesn't matter the amount, really.
Just a great way for us at our age and our point in life to impact all of Phelps County and help all the surrounding areas.
From the Future Fund, we now turn to the performing arts. The tassel began as a dream in the 1970s, and it became a reality in the late 1990s. It was gifted to Holdrege Public Schools in 1999.
I think the Tassel Performing Arts Center is very important to the community.
Pat Underwood has been the director at the Tassel Performing Arts Center for the past 3 years.
They built this from the ground up themselves. It's all based on private donations, and it was put together by people who believed that the performing arts should stay alive in a community, that it was important to have a vibrant culture within the community that people could reach easily.
The Tassel is a top-notch facility that features a hometown flair.
All of the art in the lobby of the Tassel was created by local artists.
In addition to the beautiful artwork, the spacious auditorium comfortably seats 832 people.
There are 2 very large speakers up on either side of the balcony and 4 very large speakers on either side of the stage, and the acoustics are wonderful. There's not a bad seat in the house.
Sue Waller is a member of the Tassel Coordination Council.
Music history goes back many, many years, and we have a program that was put together about how when even Glenn Miller and some of those people came to Holdrege and performed at the City Auditorium.
Sue says the demand for quality entertainment in Holdrege is great.
Plus it's utilized by the high school and the grade school in the Holdrege Public School System. And there's also other surrounding schools that come here for different music things, quiz bowls.
And the Tassel Performing Arts Center features 6 to 7 shows a year, many of them featuring classical music.
Also, we try to push the edges of that a little bit and try to attract a broader audience, more the general public, by not doing totally straight classical. We hope the general public will come more and see classical music and realize how great it can be. But we also try to do theater and some kind of offbeat things sometimes.
The next big show at the Tassel will take place in mid-March when a group from St. Louis called the Ariana String Quartet will take the stage on March 16th.
And magic.
Straight ahead, the Magic Man appears before your very eyes, and we see how young adults in our town Holdrege are making a difference in their community. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Our Town Holdrege. I'm Lance Schwartz. More than 100 years ago, Holdrege was dubbed the Magic City because of its rapid development. Today, it could still be called the Magic City, but now it's because of young Chase Hasty.
Get ready for the show of a lifetime.
Attention, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, your magician for this evening.
When I was 5, I got a magic kit from my parents for Christmas. First of all, everyone put your hands out like this. I enjoyed magic because it was something nobody else could do. Was that your card? Nobody else in my family could figure it out, so I thought it was cool.
Chase was just 10 years old when he kicked off his career.
This is my first magic show I've ever done. I was 10 years old, and it was for a nursing home.
I'm going to ripple through. Just say stop.
He'll tell you that he's come a long way in the past 6 years.
Remember your card.
It was pretty bad.
Last September, Chase entered a large magic contest in Dallas, and
I received first place at that competition, and it's one of my biggest achievements.
it takes a lot of work to make magic look this easy.
Open your hands slowly, Mason. Big round of applause for Mason. Thank you, Mason. You can take your seat. So you got to practice a lot.
Or you can just rely on luck, like me. Woo! Rest assured, this kid is dedicated to his craft.
I practice probably 5 to 7 hours a night after school, including Saturday and Sunday. All right, lock it up tight, 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 tight.
In the summer of 2012, Chase attended a major magic convention.
All right, perfect. Now, take the key out. There were thousands of magicians that flocked to Vegas, all to meet together and teach each other how to do that stuff. Watch real close.
And it was in Vegas that Chase got to meet his favorite magician, David Copperfield.
No one's ever accomplished what he has, which is why I like him so much. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
This Holdrege High School junior would like to go on a United States tour in the near future, eventually pursue an acting career, and if it all works out as planned,
hopefully someday along the road have a show in Las Vegas.
Look out, David Copperfield. Chase Hasty just might appear when you least expect him.
Thanks for watching. My name's Chase Hasty. I love magic, and that's my story.
Chase is just one of many impressive young adults here in our town, Holdrege. And a number of those impressive teenagers have gotten involved with a new leadership group called YELP, which stands for Youth Engaged in Leading Phelps.
So when you went around and did the mapping, what were the things that you circled that you were proud of?
Katie Oskren is the executive director at the Holdrege Chamber of Commerce.
We'll meet for 3 hours every month.
Katie hopes this new program that she helped spearhead will create new leaders that will want to stay in Holdrege.
We have identified, like a lot of rural communities, we're in a situation where we're losing population.
Katie hopes to reverse that trend.
From what we've learned, the best way to do that is to engage our young people from a very early age so that they are serving the community, they feel invested in the community, they have a connection with the community so that they're more likely to consider returning to their hometown after they go off and get their education.
YELP is a year-long class designed specifically for high school sophomores like Abby Nelson and Avery Johnson.
This is broadening the leadership aspect and helping out around your town and different people. You're just not focused on school. It's kind of a bigger picture.
Avery believes YELP will help her become more well-rounded.
I thought it sounded different, something different to do, and I've always wanted to have more leadership skills than I do and be able to help my community out and meet new people.
And I think that'll be a really good opportunity for you guys to connect with some people who are really great role models.
As a Holdrege High School senior, Sarah Vanasik is acting as the YELP project manager.
I truly believe in YELP because I think young people don't get a voice or a big enough voice in this day and age. I think that if you have a dream, you need to pursue it.
Abby couldn't agree more.
People don't usually think of teenagers as helping out, so I thought it was different and a good opportunity.
And speaking of good opportunities, the YMCA of the Prairie offers Phelps County citizens the opportunity to work out at a fabulous facility that would normally be found in a much larger city.
Hi, I'm Jeff Morgan, CEO of the YMCA of the Prairie. Welcome to our town, Holdrege, and our YMCA.
The YMCA of the Prairie proved to be the exception to that 25,000 people rule, and that's largely because of enthusiastic people like Rich Watson.
Oh, it's one of the most important places in my life. I don't know what Holdrege would do without it. I honestly don't know what people did prior to the Y being here to stay fit.
Plain and simple, Rich is addicted to working out at the Y.
I don't want to stop. I can't stop.
It's that kind of passion that's boosted the YMCA's growth over the past decade.
We've come a long ways. We've grown far beyond what we thought we would. They tell you when you open a Y that you double in size, and we've done that and more.
I don't think everybody realizes how fortunate we are in a town the size of Holdrege to have the facilities that we have.
Jessica Sundquist views the Y as one of the main social hubs in town.
There's tons of people here all the time, so even if you just wanted to come for the social aspect of it, you probably could.
We love the Y of the Prairie!
Jeff Morgan says nearly 4,000 of the 9,000 people living in Phelps County are members at the YMCA of the Prairie.
How's everything tonight?
Coming up, it's time to visit a couple of family businesses in our Town Holdrege. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back to our Town Holdrege. The Speakeasy restaurant opened for business in 1974. 6 years later, T.P. Pulse and his wife Teresa took ownership and built the Speakeasy into a fine dining destination in south central Nebraska.
We bought the Speakeasy in May of 1980.
T.P. and Teresa bought it even though it had holes in the walls.
She wasn't kidding that snow would come through the wall on the north side of the building.
And our locals, we were packed. We would be packed on Saturday night.
And that love affair with the Speakeasy would continue to grow throughout the years.
It was a family place. It was a country club for this small country area.
And we never left a Saturday night before 1 o'clock, ever.
After nearly 4 decades of late nights, T.P. and Teresa decided to retire about a year ago.
And of 4 children, we're so fortunate that one of them wanted to do this.
And that fortunate son is Ryan.
Soup is a tomato basil tonight.
After spending 18 years in Seattle, Ryan moved his family back to Phelps County to take over the family business.
It feels really good. I love it. With my daughter, she's 8 years old, going to turn 9 in February. And I wanted her to have the childhood that I had, where You can get on your bicycle and just go.
And you can also eat at Dad's restaurant as much as you'd like.
It's really good.
Why?
Because homemade.
Sophia's dad knows all about homemade, and he also learned a lot about quality steaks from his father.
Well, there's age on them and they're marbled really well. So.
From Omaha to Denver, customers travel great distances to get a speakeasy steak.
The thing I like best about it is the quality of the steak and the way they can cook it. You get what you want.
A wide variety of food comes out of this cook's kitchen.
We still got like the down-home food, like the comfort food, and then for like specials, I'll go through and do some more upscale things for people that want that.
After a year at the helm,
we can hold about 260 people with the private dining room.
Ryan is pleased with his decision to return to our Town Holdrege and the speakeasy.
How's everything tonight, you guys?
Very good.
Makes me feel good when I make someone else feel good.
Now, from one family business, we head on to yet another business that was built on family values. Allman Brothers Construction is now under their third generation of Allman family leadership. It was the late 1930s, and Leslie and Walter Allman were living in tiny Huntley, Nebraska, 20 miles south of Holdrege. In the midst of the Great Depression and unable to afford a new arc welder for their repair shop, the brothers built their own. It worked so well that their neighbors asked the Allman brothers to build welders for them. The business was born and soon moved to Holdrege.
My dad and his brother actually started it in 1938.
Roger Allman and his brother Steve ran the family business for many years, and they've since handed the reins over to a third generation of Allmans.
It's been really fun in just about every way, and I think it's a little bit unusual that families, third, fourth generation, or even second generation, work well. It gets pretty complex with spouses and kids and so forth.
Third generation CEO Brad Allman says it's an honor to uphold the great family tradition.
Obviously, we have a strong past, and a lot of good principles have been laid down through the decades, really.
More than 200 employees work hard at manufacturing three main products.
This is an Allman, it's a portable floodlighting unit, trailer-mounted, diesel-powered lights with a tower that goes up, and this is by far our biggest selling product line.
The second biggest seller is a portable heating unit.
It's a 1 million BTU of heat that's trailer-mounted, totally portable.
And you'll find the third biggest seller in highway construction zones.
This is a flashing arrow board trailer. It's a traffic safety device.
Allman Brothers is now celebrating their 76th year in business. Still ahead, our final story of the show awaits. A trip to the new and improved Phelps Memorial Health Center is coming up.
Have state-of-the-art technology.
Welcome back to Our Town Holdrege. The CEO at Phelps Memorial Health Center has officially retired his construction helmet. After 3 years of renovation and new building, the construction crews have moved on and Phelps Memorial is open and ready to continue providing quality health care to South Central Nebraska.
It's virtually a brand new hospital.
With new additions and renovations totaling more than 127,000 square feet, Phelps Memorial Health Center has a lot to offer.
Yes, this is our brand new patient wing. We've been in this facility for about 2 years now.
Mark Harrell is excited about the improvements to Phelps Memorial.
We increased the number of ORs from 2 to 4. State of the art, where now we do spine surgery here at Phelps, and we also do a tremendous amount of orthopedic surgery as well, and we bring specialists in from across the country.
All of the upgrading of the facilities had a big impact on John McClimate's desire to return home to Holdrege after pharmacy school.
Well, anytime that you're looking at a place, that's got a pharmacy like this, and this pharmacy is incredibly modern for a critical access hospital, a 25-bed hospital. They've really got a lot of kind of neat design here in the pharmacy.
Alan Olson is a medical technologist that has been employed at this hospital since it first opened.
I started to work at Phelps Memorial in 1968.
Alan has seen a lot of changes over the past 46 years, but one thing has remained the same.
The most impressive part of Phelps Memorial then and now is, our providing exceptional quality, compassionate care right here.
Well, that'll do it for our memorable journey around our town Holdrege. For everyone at 1011 News, I'm Lance Schwartz. So long, everybody.